Hey everybody, I want to show you some basics of how you need to go into your Blackboard course and do some edits and some alignment to the gradebook. So first thing I want to do is show you around the course a little bit. So you have all your units. Every course looks a little different, but you've got usually have a link here called units. Most of you have one called About My Teacher or Instructor or something like that. That's the first thing you need to edit. So if I click here, you can go create a contact. In this case, I've already put Kelly Theodosian's contact information there. She needs to go in there and edit it and add her phone number and that kind of stuff. All of you do need to include that as well. So I just click on the little drop down and click on edit. And so I can put a work phone number there and any other information I'd like to put or any notes. And then if you wanted to put a school hours page, you could put it there and then click submit. And then the other thing you really need to do is go through the course and familiarize yourself with the course if you've not done that already. But you also need to go into each unit of the course and look for the assignments that are due. So if I go down through here, I know I have a lesson 1, and I got to look at that, see what it is. I can see there's no real assignment due in lesson 1. You see up here, this is called a breadcrumb. I can just go back one space, and it'll take me to the unit outside that unit. So I'm going to go through there and look. I see I have text questions here, so I'm assuming maybe that is an assignment for a kid to do. So this says that they need to complete the work in Microsoft Office and attach the file using the Dropbox tool. So I have to come down here, and I don't see a Dropbox tool, so that tells me I need to do something here. So let me show you this. So there it is. So there's the Dropbox tool. It's right below that. So I click on it, and I can see that's where students are putting that information in there, right? So this is what a student sees. They can either write a submission or they can upload a document and stick it in there. Alright, so I'm going to cancel that. But what you need to do, I'll show you, is go down there and write on the Dropbox, go to edit, right click on the Dropbox and edit, and then if you have any further instructions you can type them in this box, but then you need to select a due date. And so this is the first assignment, and so you need to kind of select a due date for that assignment, and so say I put that in there, and then hit submit. Alright, so what that does is it puts it on the student's taskbar when they first log in and tells them what is due next. So without that, kids really don't know when things are due or anything like that. So I'm going to hit cancel just so Kelly can put her own stuff in. The other thing you can do is what I did here is put a calendar. Let me go back. I am going to do that. I'm going to show you. I can go here, edit. And so if I put this is due on the 7th of August, and I'm going to hit submit. Alright, so I just said that's due on the 7th of August, which is the first week of school. Then if I put a calendar link, and I'll show you how to do that in a second, but if I go in here and look on the calendar, look what happened. It put all those all those things being due here. Now you'll notice there are already stuff in here that's due on one day. You might want to scatter that around so kids can have due dates that are separate. So if I click on that, it tells me which assignment is due and when it is due. I can grade that assignment straight from the calendar, but for kids, they can see that calendar, so I can show you what it looks like from a student's point of view. If I click on that little eyeball, I'm entering a student view. Okay. I go back into units, and I will go into unit 1, Now we'll go into calendar, and you can see, oh, there it is, and there it is. So I click on it, and I can go directly to that assignment. So what I would do if I were you, I would put in the beginning of each calendar, each unit, I would put a calendar. I'm going to exit this preview. I'll show you. Again, you can preview this just like I am. I have the same rights you do. So I'm going to go back in here, back into the unit, and I'm going to edit. So I'm not editing the calendar per se, but I'm editing the instructions. Review this calendar before you start so that you know when things are due. Don't be late. And then, I've got emoticons in here, so I can put an emoticon. And then I can hit submit. So I would put one of those calendars at the beginning of each unit so that students know, check and see when all things are due in this particular unit, so that so I'm not late. All right. So that's kind of the down and dirty of the stuff that you need to do. You go through each unit, make sure that every assignment in your course has a due date so that it appears on the calendar. And in a later little video, I'll send you about how to use the gradebook. So I'm going to go back in real quick. I'm going to show you how to put the calendar in other tools. So if I go to Unit 2 for Kelly Theodosian's class on journalism, all I do is go to Tools, More Tools, and then go to Calendar. Same thing, right? Check when things are due. Okay, and then that's it. I hit submit. Now what happens is it puts it down at the bottom of the unit, and so you see it comes all the way down. That's not going to do a student any good, right? So I'm going to move it up by just grabbing it on the yellow bar and moving it all the way up to the top. All right, and so just doing that saves the student a little problems, some problems. So you might want to play around with creating items and folders. So if you want to augment some of the coursework in your courses, I'll create a separate video on that, but you can also play around with that, right? And so I'll send you that in just a few minutes as well.